I've been insecure for most of my life. I let my insecurities lead me to compromise. I compromised in the things that I said, the things that I watched, the people that I hung out with, and all the while God was saying, I love you. I think the biggest thing that made me stop and say, okay, God, I know you love me, and I know that I'm important to you, was my car wreck. I remember we dropped down to about 35 miles an hour. The time we did that, we ran into a wall of smoke. We looked up and realized we ran into an 18-wheeler. When we hit, our SUV cut off, and we realized that we were in the middle of an interstate at night with no light. All four of us looked at each other at the same time and reached for the door. My door was the only one that opened. I ran out of the car, ran around the back, and I stopped. But I stopped right at the white line. And as I stopped, a car came by. They had swerved over into the grass at the last second and barely missed me. I remember the car brushing against my clothes. After that happened, I looked back and saw more cars coming up the road. So I ran around and jumped back in our car. My leg was still hanging out, and I reached for the door trying to pull my leg in and shut the door. And a car comes by and slams into the side of our car, driving past us. And I remember my door catching the side of their car, going forward and then coming back and slamming my leg. My aunt and my cousin both got out of the car. My aunt's boyfriend was stuck. My aunt grabbed my cousin and I, and we ran as fast as we could. We got away from the car and got onto the side of the road. I remember as soon as we stopped running, we looked back and 3 cars drove past us. They were all in the left lane and ran into the back of our car. And when the third one hit, our car flew up into the air and flipped several times. I remember it landing on its side, and my aunt became hysterical. She thought that her boyfriend was dead. When those 3 cars drove past us, their headlights allowed me to see my leg. I remember looking down and seeing 2 gaping holes in my leg. I could see the bone. I remember my shoe was missing. My sock was there, but it looked like I had dipped it in red paint. While she was screaming, I looked at the car, and I saw a shadow go from our car to the ditch. I told my aunt, I saw a shadow, I think it was him. And we all took off running. He was hurt. He didn't know how he got there, but he was alive. I remember us sitting there in the ditch, trying to get our thoughts together. He woke me up from my sleep in a state of hysteria, and that saved my life. Had we not slowed down when we did, we would have hit that truck going about 70 to 80 miles an hour. We would have died instantly. I know it was him that stopped me when I was running, barely missing a car. And I know that he was with me throughout the entire night, giving me peace. That's the night that God stepped in and saved my life. My name is Timothy Driggers, and I spent most of my life in insecurity. But through Christ, I'm an overcomer.